What is this place? Is this another theater? What does it say here? Okay, this is Greece or Greek. Caesarea's prison, Paul's jail. The underground structure you see here served as a T-shaped water cistern in the interior courtyard of the palace. After the time of Herod, the cistern was turned into a prison, to the north of which a courtroom was built. An inscription carved in mud was found in the cistern that read, "The Lord Yeshua help Procopia." According to scholars, this may be the place where Paul the Apostle was imprisoned 58 to 60 CE, as described in the New Testament. When 2 years had passed, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus, but because Felix wanted to grant a favor to the Jews, he left Paul in prison. So apparently, this location happened to be where Paul the Apostle was in prison, and it says it is underground. There is a staircase here. Yeah, I can't go in there. I think it's not allowed. That leads the ground below. Yeah, I can see a gate there. So probably it's in one of those places that Paul the Apostle was in prison, according to what we've just read. So it wasn't only Paul the Apostle that was here, also Rabbi Akiva's jail was also here. The underground structure you see here served as a T-shape. Okay, we already read that. And it says here, after a time of Herod, the cistern was turned into a prison, to the north of which a courtroom was built. In 132 CE, Rabbi Akiva was put on trial in Caesarea and imprisoned for more than 3 years until he was executed. It is possible that Rabbi Akiva was imprisoned in this cistern. So like I said, there is an underground here. So Paul the Apostle and Rabbi Akiva apparently or allegedly, let's not forget our most interesting word, allegedly. So allegedly, probably they were imprisoned here. History of the compound. The palace was erected in several stages and underwent various alterations. At the end of the Roman period, the role of the whole area changed. The upper palace was partitioned into private dwellings before being abandoned at the end of the Byzantine period. When both the hippodrome and the palace ceased to function, buildings were erected on their remains, including a prayer hall and a public latrine. In the early Islamic period, the whole area of the theater was apparently turned into a rabat, a fortress erected for the purpose of the jihad or holy war, surrounded by agricultural fields. Okay, really gets interesting. This is why I love touring. This is why I love traveling, because then I get to see places, I get to see things, I get to read about history that we've read, we've watched in movies, but seeing it physically as it played out according to history is something else. It's exciting, it's interesting. That's why I'm always grateful for every opportunity I have to be visiting places like this. I never thought that ever a time in my life I would happen to visit a place where Paul the Apostle allegedly was in prison. So this is wonderful for me. That's the beach. I don't know if you can see from that distance. The gliders, people bathing, basking in the sun. It's beautiful. Somebody's fishing over there. What were these columns for? Nothing is written here, so we'll ignore it. But I think it served as a very important column for the fact that it is there. Oh, there's something here. The Roman well. Some 60 lead scroll fragments dating to the 4th CAD, probably execration tablets and binding spells, were recovered from this well, where they had been intentionally thrown as a magical practice. In his address on the dedication of the Holy Sepulchre in 335 AD, Eusebius, Bishop of Caesarea, firmly condemned these widespread practices and what he called coarse tablets of forbidden sorcery. So this is the Roman well. Wow, interesting. Very, very interesting. And over here, people are also fishing. Well, unfortunately, this is not the Sea of Galilee, so there's nothing much I can do for those people there. I can't tell them to cast their nets on the right side.